Johnny London here, once again. Well, today I'm going to start building the rear structure, the frame really. I'm going to use these battens as I used before, and it's going to be a similar sort of construction. There'll be sort of just a rear panel and actually a couple of little side bits. I'm going to have a couple of doors there as well. Haven't thought about the doors really yet, but I'll leave a space for them and we'll come back to that. So that's today's little task. I'm going to sort of offer a few of these up, check a few measurements and see what I see. I begin by adding the lower part of the frame. I can't find my countersink, so I'll just do a pilot hole. That'll help it in. So what I'm doing, I'm just building the top part of the frame now. I'm doing it all in situ. That way the measurements will be right and we'll see where we go from there. I'm leaving a small overhang at the end of the roof. Right, well I've got a couple of ways I can do the frame here, like that or like that. I'm going to go that way, because that way that will cover the ends of those woods against the weather, and this is actually where a door is going to be, so it gives a bit of a door frame jutting out, and then I can overhang my door onto the other bits that I've done. Hopefully that will help keep the weather out too. So far, it's all going together just fine. But these vertical bits prove a bit trickier. Well, I must say, it's not been plain sailing trying to get everything straight. Had a few angles all over the place, but I think I've got it within a few mil tolerance now. The very last batten I've had to make out of 2 bits, so I certainly didn't buy too much wood when I was down at the builder depot, and no bad thing. And well, that's the rain setting, so I'm out of here. All in all, not a bad effort though. I'm bringing the saw out today as there's a lot to cut. Well, it is indeed a lovely day today as I set up to crack on with the cabin. I've got quite a lot to get through today, but let's see how I get on. I'll certainly be needing these and these. Well, despite my best efforts, and I'm sure you've seen me using my spirit level and my diagonal checking measurements all the way throughout the build, I'm a good centimetre adrift at the sort of top corner there. I've no idea what's happened, the base is all level, but I think I'm just going to have to sort of make my peace with that and crack on. Now obviously this frame is a bit sort of springy and flimsy, and I didn't think I'd do very well trying to put nails into this. It's just going to be springing about the whole time. So I bought some thin screws, and I'm just going to use those basically. Well, as you can see, I'm making progress, and it really is just a question of checking my measurements, trying to keep things as level as I can within certain tolerances, just slowly working my way to the top. And progress is pretty decent, and straight, and true. Well, I'm not putting too many screws in because I want to make sure everything's as straight as possible before I sort of button it all down. But some of these planks are a little bit sort of banana shaped that way, and they've needed sort of ones on these middle supports just to pull them straight. I'm checking it with the spirit level as I go as well. So hopefully when I get to the top in a minute, I shouldn't be too far out. Of course I'll be getting onto the tricky ones in a bit. And here they are. Have to use the handsaw for these bits. Oh, that's a stroke of luck. Unbelievably, that's gone in first time, although I did have to bend it rather a lot to sort of get it past a couple of sticking points, but I'm happy with that. I'm just doing the little sort of notched cutouts where I've got the joists. It's a very difficult piece. Not only has it got angles at each end, obviously the joist bits, and it's one of those things you cut it and cut it and cut it because it doesn't fit, and then suddenly it will fit with loads of gaps probably. But if that's the case, as long as it's half acceptable, that'll be good enough. Got to be careful with these though. Never put your hand in front of the cutting edge. Not like Jimmy Oso did at school. I remember that. It was like this, and he was like cutting like this, and next thing you know he's like this, and he's like, "Sir, I cut my hand." Mr. Maskell had a look. I think he was quite shocked. I remember it being quite a nasty injury actually, and he got one of the other kids to walk him up to the hospital because, you know, it was the 70s after all. Of course, the worst thing about having to go to the hospital now is the fact that you'll be there all day, isn't it? That's not perfect, but it's not bad. I'll definitely take that. And yes, that is a bodge. I've used an offcut upside down, but it's within the canopy area, so not too worried about that. It won't be letting in any water, probably. I'm really getting onto the bodgers now, but I'm not buying another £100 pack of wood just to do this bit with, so we'll have to use what we've got. Right, let's really get screwing. Luckily able to get away without pilot holes. Well, that didn't take ages. I'm pleased with that. Well, I've just got these uprights fixed in as well. This is where the doors will go ultimately. All the back's more or less finished, and I think it's time to go and have a couple of beers. See you next time.